Well, how was that for a retro beginning? That was from '89, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. This next selection is just some photos that have some relevance to the program that I wanted to mention. This is about Mr. Howell's Private Country Club, and they actually mentioned this in the animated series that was done around 1974, and it was called The New Adventures of Gilligan. The shot here is of the actual island itself, and they didn't show anything on location except in the first season. And then after that, everything was done on a sound stage after that, so you never got to see the island again, except those first season black and white shows. And it was a really, really beautiful place. I mean, it's just too bad they didn't film it there. Now, this references to my earlier video. There was a series of people who were mentioned as the Silvers, and they own the copyright to Gilligan's Island. And I have speculated that possibly Phil Silvers, the actor, could have kind of, after he died, he might have bought the rights to the show and then gave it to his family. And, of course, everyone knows who Phil Silvers is. He had his own TV show, and I think it was based on either him in the Army, and he had a platoon of men that he was responsible for, but he was a very famous comedian, and he's the only one that I can figure had anything to do with the show being bought out after United Artists, canceled the show in '67. And that's just to anybody else to speculate of who are the Silvers other than his family. Now, this is a rather interesting thing that, first of all, here's a question to all of you fans. How did it get powered? Doesn't have a battery. Plus, you know as well as I do that this thing required sensors to register whether someone was lying or telling the truth, and couldn't have done it unless there was a lot more to it. We'll come back to that in a second. This is a shot of one of the capsules that landed. It was an unmanned spacecraft, and of course no capsule can actually come down by rockets. And this is a premise actually for another TV show later on in the 70s. It was called Salvage 1, where they launched a spacecraft to the moon and then they came back. So I thought that was interesting. Now back to our inevitable lie detector. And you can see it used electricity or some battery, but those are too large a light for a standard AA battery to use. Plus the horn had to work. So where did the professor get a battery to run this whole thing? I guess that's the magic of television, isn't it? We're never going to find out how he operated most of the stuff that was used on the island, because we never was told these things. It's like you just figured as a kid, hey, that's neat. The professor could do anything. When they appeared as the cast of the show on ALF, the professor was able to even create a VCR, and he actually used a television set. And the only thing he said was, oh, it washed up on the shore, and then I used it to create a set so we could pick up television on the mainland. And this is another shot of the lie detector, and I just left it like that because I figured, well, the whole thing was a lie if you think about it, because there's no way he could have ever created anything like that. So it was a really funny show for a lot of people. Well, to complete this video today, I'm giving you all a treat. These are some snapshots from that actual episode of ALF where the cast appeared. This is after Jim Backus had died and Natalie Schaefer. And, of course, Tina Louise had nothing to do with the show after it was canceled. So you got Don Wells, Russell Johnson, Alan Hale Jr., and Bob Denver, who appeared in this. And anyway, they were just classic. I mean, even in the 80s, they still had that camaraderie with each other. And of course, the actor who was Alf, I mean, he probably loved it, getting to work with these really, famous actors and actresses. At one point, Bob was sort of like, he's sitting there in the chair, and you can just tell how he's taking it all in. So he's not in character. He's like, he's just enjoying it, the whole time. This shot here is the last one. This is them showing that they had a television that they made out of coconut shells and bamboo sticks, and it was just hilarious. So just wanted to give you all a chance to see these rarities. It was a great show. It's lasted 50 plus years, and I just hope everybody enjoyed watching this retrospective again, as I did. And thanks for watching.